Hey everybody, this is Gina. I just am going to do a quick sound check, make sure you guys are hearing me all right. Just give it a couple seconds. I think we have the sound going. Sounds like we're good to go. Well, we'll go ahead and get started. My name is Gina, and I'm excited to be here with you all. We're going to be talking through some strategic marketing today. And so I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with you guys so that you can see what I am looking at here. All right. Let's see. Here we go. All righty. So like I said, this is your strategic marketing plan. So we're excited to have you all here. Just to kind of share a little bit about our marketing here at Ugly Mug and how you can incorporate some strategic marketing into your personal plan. So what I wanted to do is kind of give you an overview. So picture yourself at a circus, okay? So you have a circus. If you have an elephant walking across a tightrope, you stick a label on him. You have some advertisement there for your circus, right? Now here, say your elephant walks through the town, okay? That is gonna be your publicity, your elephant walking through the town to let everyone know that the circus has come. Then say your same elephant happens to walk through the mayor's flower garden, destroying her lovely flowers. But she's not too upset because the circus is in town. She's excited about it. That's going to be your public relations. And then once the circus comes to be, you're going to sell your popcorn and your funnel cakes and pay extra tickets so your kids can jump in the little inflatables. Those are going to be just your upselling costs, your upselling at your circus event. And then our definition of marketing, if you plan the whole thing, that would be marketing. So let's get started, guys. Marketing, the way we define it at Ugly Mug is marketing is your ability to attract and keep a customer. So again, I am Gina Arnold. I'm one of the marketing coordinators here at Ugly Mug Marketing. And so I'm going to be talking through this webinar today. If you have any questions, feel free to comment and we'll try to get to those at the end. So one of our favorite tools here at Ugly Mug is the one-page marketing plan. I have a copy of it right here. It is by Alan Dibb. It's an extremely helpful little tool. And Alan Dibb goes through kind of 9 phases of marketing in this one page. And so this is the one-page marketing plan right here. And we're going to talk through each little page of that, or each little section of that page today. And if you want a copy for free, comment below and we will be giving away a copy at the end of this webinar. So let us know. All right, so I don't know if you can see this. Let me move myself over here. All right, so we have some phases, right, of the marketing process. So with your clients and customers here, we're going to be directly marketing to different phases of where they are in relationship to your business. So before they become a client or a customer, you have a prospect. Those are the people you're trying to reach to bring into your business. And then once you have obtained some information from them, maybe that's an email, they're in that process of getting to know you, they are a lead. And hopefully you're going to build a relationship with them and they will eventually become a customer. And so we're going to talk about those different phases. So the before or the prospect phase. So you are going to want to know who is your marketing target and what is the message to your target and what kind of media will you use? And so there's just kind of this natural progression of, going from a prospect all the way to a customer. And there's just different strategies that you're going to want to use along the way. So as you are building a relationship, you really want to add value to your prospects and to your leads to ultimately create clients or customers. And then during, when they're in the lead phase, we're going to talk about kind of a lead capture system. Do you have a lead capture system? How are you taking information and are you nurturing your leads? Are you doing anything with these leads once you have them? And then do you have a sales conversion strategy? What are you doing to turn leads into excited customers? We're going to talk a little bit more about that. And then after, of course, you have your customer. And so your goals are going to be to deliver world-class experience, to increase customer lifetime value, and to orchestrate referrals. We're going to talk a little bit more about what that means. So natural progression, you hear that a lot, probably if you're one of our clients. And so that's just the general progression of taking someone from being a prospect to a customer or a client. So right here, for example, if you are just a prospect of Ugly Mug Marketing, you probably, have heard of us maybe, but you don't actually have any interaction with us on a business level. A prospect, maybe you have gotten an estimate from us. And then a customer obviously is going to be your, you actually are one of our clients. We're meeting with you weekly. We're providing you with kind of a business transaction. And the way we've broken it down here is in this little chart. And this is a really great way to kind of keep it straight in your mind of where you are targeting different marketing elements. And so at the beginning of the phase, you're going to take your prospects and you have this little bubble of strangers. Now your strangers, they've never purchased anything from you. They're not a client. They don't probably know much about you, if anything at all. And then if you are a friend, that's going to move you into kind of a different zone. You know about us. You've heard about us. Maybe we're local. You know that we are a company. We do marketing here. And then from being a friend to a customer, there's another transition and another progression there. And so, of course, those customers are going to be your clients. Now, the goal is that your customers are more than customers, right? You don't want them to stay in that little customer bubble. You want them to become an evangelist for your company. And what that means is that your customers love you so much because you provide the most remarkable experiences that they are going to want to tell all of their friends about the service that they have received from you. And that becomes really a huge element of your personal marketing as you have this word of mouth, even evangelism for your company. And they are continuing to tell their friends what an incredible experience they've had. So you have this before stage, right? Kind of the stranger friend. And then during, we're going to have your friend and customer, and then after phase. And we're going to go a little bit more into each of these phases. Okay. So the goal, of course, is that we are going to receive leads through Facebook, through whatever media outlet you are using. And those leads are going to transfer into being customers and evangelists, because that is, of course, where your business is going to grow. But you can't just forget about the fact that there are these strangers and these friends who might potentially become customers and evangelists for you. So my first point here is going to be figuring out your target market. Now, this is huge because if you don't know who you're targeting, you're just going to be targeting no one, everyone and no one at the same time, which is not effective. And so your goal is to find your specific target market. Now, this is a chart that we use with all of our clients when we're starting off with kind of our marketing strategy. And we ask our clients to go through and think about who is their ideal customer, like who actually is the one who is spending the most money with their company, who becomes like their excited fans. And so this is a super helpful little page here, and we can definitely send this to you guys if you want to message us with an email. We can get this to you. It's helpful to kind of jot down some thoughts. So for example, let's say we were creating a customer avatar for Target. So your customer avatar for Target is going to be far different from your customer avatar for Academy. If you are shopping at Target, you're thinking, okay, your age might be 20 to 30-year-old, probably women. Their marital status isn't so important. Age of children, they might have little kids, they might have older kids. Either way, occupation, they're usually going to be either stay-at-home mom, or like typically you have kind of a mid-range financial position. And so challenges, pain points that wouldn't quite fit in with Target, but you know, a pain point could be, well, they need this, that, and the other. Their husband's pain point would be that they're still in Target. And on the other hand, you're going to go look and create a customer avatar for Academy. You're going to have primarily men, maybe 20 to 40-year-old kind of age range there. And so from here, you can just kind of narrow down your audience and figure out who you are directly targeting. So definitely let us know if you would like a copy of that sheet, and we will get that to you. The second thing you're going to want to continue to think about in this beginning phase is your message. So what is the message that you're giving these strangers to your company or prospects, right? One thing Donald Miller says is, if you lose, you confuse. Sorry, I said that backwards. If you confuse, you lose. So kind of the idea there is that if your message gets lost in your ad, you may end up confusing people, and you're not going to be making a profit off of that. And so one ad, one objective. Here's kind of what we mean by that. What most people do when they start their marketing is they're just going to throw a bunch of information at you, right? So they're going to have maybe a Facebook ad, and it's going to have their company name and their logo, and a list of services like, okay, at Ugly Mug, we offer social media and marketing and website design and this and that. And best claims, you know, oh, this is what everybody said, and here's your free quote, and contact us below. And that's fantastic, but it's going to be way too much information, and it's probably going to scare people off. So what do? You need to focus in on why your audience should care. Why does it even matter? Why should they buy from you as opposed to every other marketing company or whatever your business is? So why should they care, and how can you get them to pay attention to you specifically in the sea of marketing and of ads that are being thrown in their face on a day-to-day basis? What makes you different? How can you stand out? So one example of a customer that we have who really used that concept to step out and be just kind of a different standout spotlight in their social media are Robin and Bridget. They are one of our awesome clients, and they had never really done much with Facebook videos. They didn't really care to do like a video of themselves on their Facebook, but what they ended up doing was creating an awesome little video. And because their faces, you know, brought attention to their audience knew, okay, this is important. Like, they don't get on Facebook as often as, you know, somebody else, but it must be important because they're now having this Facebook presence. So sometimes you have to step out of your comfort zone a little bit and be willing to try something new, to try something different, so that you can stand out from a crowd. And so Robin and Bridget did that, and obviously had really, really great success with this here at like 21K views. It was incredible. Okay, animal. What even do I mean here? Okay, so, hey, there's an animal behind you. What does that mean? Why would I say that? What emotion does that evoke in you? Probably nothing, because it's very, very vague. So an animal, what could that be? That could be a dog, that could be a peacock, that could be a lion. I have no idea. So what we want to do is be specific. How can we be as specific as possible to evoke the emotions we want from our prospects? Same with fish, okay? So if I say the word fish, what are you gonna think? Like a minnow or a shark or a, I don't know, catfish? No. All right. We don't know. So you need to take that idea and make it more specific so that your prospects have the emotion that you want them to have when they see your ad and your advertisement. If I say piranha, what's your thought going to be? Fear. You're going to be terrified. It evokes an actual emotion, right? So that's what we're talking about when we say be specific. You want to evoke emotion from your client in whatever you're doing with your marketing, whether that's a story or a video that you're posting. You're evoking emotion and building the beginnings of a relationship with those potential clients or customers. So something we say a lot here is that people buy with emotion and justify with logic. Basically what that means is that you're a whole lot more likely to buy something on the spur of the moment because you have an emotional response to a product or an advertisement. And later on, you're gonna justify it with logic. You're less likely to sit around and logically think through, do I wanna buy this or not? And then end up buying it down the line. You're much more likely to be caught up in the moment if an ad is good and really, really take that moment and buy something right in that moment or make a purchasing decision. And so one example I wanted to share with you guys, I was talking about this to a friend the other day, and I said, I just made the most emotional purchase of my life. It was, I think, like 9:30 in the evening. I'm scrolling through Facebook, and I notice a friend of mine is selling essential oils, and she had run kind of like a promotion where if you bought your essential oil set, then you got a free diffuser and a free little spa kit and a free oil. And I was like, well, if I'm ever going to buy essential oils, today would be the day. And so I ended up purchasing an essential oils kit that I initially had no intention of buying. I like essential oils, but I had no intention of buying this full-blown set, and it was a complete emotional purchase, spur of the moment. But because of what she had done, her ad was well written, it was well created. I emotionally, spur of the moment, made a purchase, and I don't regret it. And so that's one example of emotional purchasing. And then from there, you're going to think, okay, how can I take these emotions that I want to, evoke from my potential customers? And I need to use the correct media form to truly reach my target audience. So when you're using the media, you need to focus in on the specific types of media that your market is going to consume. That's why that customer avatar is so important, because if you can target who your potential customers are or who your current customers are, then you can find more people like them. So marketing channels, you have radio, you have social media, catalogs, TV, physical locations, website, email, direct mail, paid search, all of the things, right? But what is the most important for you? Because you don't want to try to reach in too many areas and then miss out on where your focus really should be. So here are a few of our favorite social media platforms, the primary ones that I know of. So Pinterest, that's going to be recipes and clothes and boutique type clothing, and do it yourself, all kinds of crafts. So that might be your audience. If you have a cookbook that you're trying to sell, maybe you would upload different recipes to Pinterest. Twitter is definitely more of a, like it says here, micro-blogging social site. You're limited in how many words you can use, but it reaches probably the 20 to 30-year-old, maybe into 40s, typically age range. And then you have Facebook, which is huge. You have ages 25 to 35. And there are tons of people on Facebook of all ages, and you really have a lot of options there, but we'll talk more about Facebook in a second. And then Instagram is definitely more of a visual. And if you have a brand or a company that really uses images to carry across your message, Instagram might be right for you. Snapchat is geared towards kind of your younger audience, like 12 to 24-year-olds. Snapchat, I had one for a little while, and then I think if I ever check it, it's very rare. And so it really just depends on the social media that you need to use. You know, like if your audience, let's see, if your customer avatar audience is like your 40-year-olds to 60-year-olds, you probably don't need a Snapchat. And then LinkedIn, of course, is more business oriented. If you're doing business to business communication, that might be the right way to go for you. You can run ads on LinkedIn as well. But Facebook is our favorite. We can't lie there. Facebook has lots and lots of options. It allows you to be super specific in who you're targeting. Because so many users it does have so many users, you really, you almost can't go wrong. There's lots of things you can do with Facebook. One reason we love Facebook so much is that you can target your audience down to their interests and where they are. And so here's an example of if I pull up on Ads Manager in Facebook, some targeting, I can go into demographics, I can look at education, financial, home, and I can say, you know, I want to target this specific type of person. So I might click parents. I want people who are parents. Pretend I'm selling baby clothes, okay? I'm not going to be selling to probably single people without any children. I'm going to want to really, really hone in on parents and kind of go from there. But from there, I can go into even more detailed targeting. I can say, okay, all parents. Do I want new parents, parents of preschoolers, parents with adult children? And if I'm selling baby clothes, obviously I'm going to click on new parents and then kind of go from there. And so by limiting it, it makes my ad spend go more specifically where I need it to be. You can also target the time that you want your ad to run, which is super neat. And of course, you can do this with other forms of media, with radio, with TV. You have some selection, you know, when am I going to show this ad or that ad? But with Facebook, it's very, very simple to go in and plug in what times you want to use for your ad. So if you're a restaurant, you're probably going to use your ads maybe right before lunch, right before dinner. And that can be kind of a way of being in people's mind's eye, like right before they are prepping to go out to eat. And so that is definitely one of Facebook's just huge advantages there. Oh yeah, and you can geo-target. Now this is the coolest thing because you really can select what area you want all of your ads to be shown in. So whether you want to make it, you know, Alexandria plus 50 miles or Alexandria plus 1 mile, I don't know. You probably wouldn't do that, but you do Alexandria plus 10 miles or 20. And that really shows where all your ad's going to show. You can go down to like a single little block. You know, if you wanted to target people who are right around this one restaurant, you could do that. So that as people are on their way to find a restaurant, they cross through your area, maybe they see an ad for your restaurant. Pretty cool. And then let's see, another awesome advantage of using Facebook is that when you go in, you can just be very, very specific about interests. So you can select age range, you can select gender, you can select a language if you want to. Detailed targeting, say you are a pizza business, you know, you might add in all of your competitors, people who like every different type of pizza in your area, and then you're going to direct your ads towards that audience as well, and that can be very helpful. And then from here, okay, yeah, so what you could do is, let's see, say you have a pizza business. Probably what you would want to do is to go in, select people who have liked Domino's, Pizza Hut, pizza delivery, pizza lovers. And you can select those interests and it will automatically show your ads to people who have selected that they like those things. And so it's a way of finding the people who are already set up to like pizza, to like your industry. And so that works for any industry, really. You're able to go many different ways with that. So 1 is the most dangerous number. Why is that? So that is because if you only stick with one form of media, the problem is you just really never know when it's going to go down, if it's going to be forever, what's going to happen tomorrow. So if all I do is Facebook ads, Facebook promotions, and I never form an email list, or I never look into Instagram or LinkedIn, depending on my industry, you know, Facebook could go down a day, my ad account could be closed. You never know. A variety of things could happen. So you need to have multiple ways to reach your audience and to connect with your audience. So that's going to move us into lead capture. So lead capture is how you are going to take your prospects, get their information so that you can build a relationship with them and ultimately have, hopefully, in the future, kind of have them turn into a customer over time. And so there are multiple ways you can do this. It's super important to capture your leads. So if you already have a method of capturing your leads, we'd love to hear about it. Facebook is a super great way to capture leads. There are several great ways to do that. Now, one way is by running a leads gen ad on Facebook. And those are super cool because you can fill out a form, have someone directly on Facebook fill out a form, and then they submit it, and you are able to get in to then take that information. And if they've given you an email address or an address or a phone number, you then have that information to plug into your MailChimp or your Constant Contact. And then from there, you can reach out to them with information about your business or your service. So with this example here, we had a client who was trying to build their email list. And when we first started running a lead gen ad for them, cost per lead, cost per result right here was $20. Now that's a lot for one result. So that was like one email equals $20. But Facebook allows you to do what's called split testing. So I could take my audience, my graphic, my verbiage, and switch it out and test it against each other to ultimately find the best option for your business or for this specific customer, right? Ultimately, we were able to split test and split test and split test multiple times and get the result down to 85 cents per lead, which means that for each email that we were given, it was only costing us 85 cents as opposed to the $25 or the $20 beforehand. And so split testing, we can't emphasize enough, is so important. If you create an ad in Facebook and just kind of leave it there to do whatever it wants to do, you may not see the results you want. You have to go in, you have to check them, you have to change your audience, change your graphic, really work with it until you're seeing those results that you want. And then once you have those leads or those emails in this case, what are you going to do with them? So we're going to talk about number 5 being our lead nurturing system. So right here, this nice gentleman's name is Joe Girard. He is the world's greatest salesman, and here's why. He sold 13,001 cars in his life. That is an average of 6 per day. On his best day, he sold 18 vehicles. On his best month, he sold 174. In his best year, he sold 1,425. And he sold by himself more cars than 95% of all the dealerships in North America. He sold them all one vehicle at a time, and there were no bulk or fleet sales. That's crazy. But how did he do it? He did it through nurturing his leads. He would write thank you notes. He would write cards to his potential customers. He would also write cards knowing that in the future, down the road, they were going to make a purchase. He followed up. He built relationships in an exceptional way. He just like wrote hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of cards, handwritten notes, and was able to stay in their mind's eye so that, 5 years down the road, if they needed a car, who were they going to think about to come back to? They were going back to Joe. And so that's one way that he was able to do that. He nurtured those leads. If he knew someone might be interested in buying a car, whether that was 5 years down the road, 10 years down the road, he made sure to stay in their mind's eye by keeping contact with them and developing that relationship there. And then number 6, after you have nurtured your leads, you will hope that we're going to have some sales coming out of that, which is number 6, our sales conversion strategy. Okay, so here is a train station. I'm going to tell you a super quick little story. There is an exceptional violinist named Joshua Bell. He's an American violinist. Incredible. He plays at huge venues, making thousands and thousands of dollars a night. And he was a part of a social experiment where he went into a train station one night and played for a few hours on the same violin that he played at, when he was at whatever Carnegie Hall, venue that he was usually playing at. Had the same violin, the same music, the same repertoire, and he played for a few hours and made, let me check, make sure I tell you right. Yeah, he made $32 an hour, as opposed to the night before when he earned $60,000 an hour. So what was different? Why did he make $60,000 the night before at this huge, beautiful venue, doing the same exact thing that he was doing the night he was at the train station? It's all about perception. How was he perceived in the venue where they expected to hear a professional violinist versus in the train station when they assumed he was just a street performer? So what you need to do is focus in on how you're perceived, right? So you take your perception and really, really focus on, okay, how do you need to be perceived? People's emotions truly do kind of sway them when they are making a purchase. And so if they feel that your product is not, maybe doesn't look professional or doesn't seem to be exactly what they're looking for, they might go a different direction. So really consider, how are you perceived? How will your prospects see you? How will your leads see you? And move forward along those lines there. And so what we want to do is build your frame. So admit it, vision it, draw it, build it, live it, review it. What is your frame? How are you perceived? And again, people buy with emotion and then they justify with logic. We'll say that over and over and over again. So if you were sitting here, even though this webinar is free, if it didn't look that we had a professional PowerPoint, or if you hadn't heard maybe positive things about Ugly Mug, would you feel like it was worth your while to come watch a free webinar? It's a good question. So what is your emotion when you're going into buying a product? And you need to think about that when you are marketing your different products, your different services. So let's see. Okay, moving forward into 7, the world-class experience. All right, so this book here is by Ron Kaufman. Ron Kaufman, our team has watched multiple videos by him together. He is incredible, has great ideas for marketing, and he has listed kind of these 6 levels, I guess, of service, starting at criminal and ending in unbelievable. And of course, what we're all going to strive towards is unbelievable service. And so what we're going to do is I'm going to tell you a little bit more about Ron Kaufman and a story that he tells in one of his videos. So Ron Kaufman traveled a lot for work. And there was one day that he was in his hotel, and he knew that he was going to have to wake up really early the next morning to catch a flight. So he'd been using this cab driver for a few days to get up and go around the town. But he called his cab driver the day before and said, hey, I have to be up at 5, or I need you to pick me up at 5 a.m. so that I can catch my flight. And, the cab driver says, sure, we'll do. I'll be there. So the next morning, the cab driver calls Ron's phone number, and Ron doesn't answer. So most cab drivers would probably just say, well, it's not my problem. And they would go about their day. This cab driver was different. He actually got in his car, drove to the hotel that Ron was staying in, walked up to Ron's room, knocked on the door. Ron, is tired in a bed, in his robe, walks up in his slippers, opens the door, and the cab driver says, it's 5 o'clock. It's time to wake up. I'll be waiting for you downstairs. What kind of service is that? And have you ever had a cab driver provide such excellent service? Because I don't know that is very common. But that's what we're talking about when we say unbelievable service. It's stepping above the rest to really, really show yourself or show your clients that you are a whole entire level above your competitors or those around you. And so kind of another example of maybe like surprising or unbelievable service. I was thinking the other day, I had a planner that I had bought and it was a fantastic planner. I spent too much money on it, but it was great. And then I realized like halfway through the year, as I was like flipping through it, that I think the month of September and October, they were gone. Like the monthly layout for those months, it was just a blank sheet of paper. And so I sent their customer service a note, and I was like, hey, the pages are gone. Is there like something that you guys can do? Can I get like a refund? I hated to get a refund at all because I've been using this planner for the first half of the year, and that would be sad. To get a whole new planner, that would be a struggle. But what they said was, absolutely. They were very much upset by the problem. They said, what we're going to do is we will send you a new planner, and we're also going to send you another one that you can give to a friend. And that way you feel like you can, tell them about your experience essentially. And so that was like surprising, remarkable experience there. Like, how are you turning your customers into evangelists? You want them to be your biggest fans. You want them to love your product and know that you as a company care about them, and you really are on their team. So how are you doing that? So from there, let's see. If you would like to watch these Ron Kaufman videos, we can definitely send you those links as well. Just send us a Facebook message and we would love to get those to you. Okay, moving on. So we have number 8, an increase in lifetime value, kind of like I was talking about. How are we imparting value to our customers and our clients? Okay, so 5 times. Attract a new customer, then sell an existing customer. What does this mean? It means that you are 5 times more likely to sell to someone who's already buying from you than you are to find a new customer. So I think I said that backwards. Sorry. You're 60 to 70% more likely to sell to an existing customer than you are to a new client. Again, I think this is in your way. Sorry. So you're 5 to 20% likely to take one of those prospects, one of those leads, and sell to them as a completely new customer. So where should your focus be? It really should be a lot of the times on your existing customers. How are you making them into evangelists for your company? How are you imparting value to them? So what percent of your marketing budget is allocated to attracting clients and then to keeping clients or customers? So really what we mean by that is, okay, are you attracting new clients? Because that is important. But like we looked at those percentages, most of your business is going to come from clients who are already purchasing products from you and who already know that your product is worth buying. So what are you putting into keeping your clients? And then how are you going to increase lifetime value? So you have 3 options, okay? So this is going to be focusing in on, of course, your previous customers, people who've already bought from you, but it can, cross lines into new clients as well. So your 3 options here for attracting and keeping customers, you might have an add-on sell, and most of us know what that is. That's going to be when you're at McDonald's or Chick-fil-A and you order your meal and they say, okay, do you want to add a drink with that, or do you want to add French fries with that? And you're like, yeah, sure, why not? And then you might upsell. And upsell is similar but different. That's going to be when you have a product, but let's say you have a pizza. You buy a pizza, and an upsell might be, okay, making the pizza better. Do you want stuffed crust? Yes, absolutely. So that's making your product better. It's a higher quality of a product. And then cross-sell is going to be when you are the owner of the business, but maybe you tell your customer to go across the street or across the town to your other location to get something that's available over there. So same owner, but maybe a different area that you are sending them to for that sale. And then 9, orchestrate referrals. So once you are making these sales, you have these fans, these customers who love your product. Are you orchestrating referrals? It can be awkward. It can be a little bit strange to ask someone like, hey, can you refer a friend to me or my business? But really, you can do that. And there are some simple ways that you can do that in an easy way. So referrals, you want to be specific, provide tools, and make it easy. So basically, be specific. What does that mean? Okay, that means I'm saying, hey, do you know anyone who needs a new logo? Do you have anyone who kind of looks like maybe their website could use a little bit of help? Could you refer them to us so that we can maybe give them a quote? Providing tools. Do you have a booklet? At Ugly Mug, I know we have a little booklet of has some testimonials. It has some different information about our company as a whole. And so if someone's interested in more information, we love to send them that little packet. And then make it easy. How do you make it easy for your customers to, give you referrals? Are you giving them verbiage to use? Maybe you forward them an email and say, hey, could you send this over to your friend? It really can be easy, and it doesn't have to be awkward. And so how are you asking for referrals? Are you asking for referrals? DoubleTree by Hilton is a hotel, and one way that they kind of ask for referrals without actually asking are by offering chocolate chip cookies. So they offer fresh chocolate chip cookies. And by doing that, they create a conversation starter. So if I go stay at DoubleTree and experience their great chocolate chip cookies, the next time I'm having a conversation about traveling with a friend, I might say, hey, you really should stay at the DoubleTree because they have really great chocolate chip cookies. And I had a really awesome experience with them. They had really great customer service. The list goes on, right? That word of mouth is huge. That's going to build trust for your customers. So definitely don't be worried about asking for referrals and find ways to incorporate that. Okay, so what's next? Again, we have our little chart here. So we're taking our strangers to our friends and our friends to our customers, customers to evangelists, and then word of mouth evangelists going back to their friends so that they join in that circle for us. And so really, you're going to advertise to each target area in a somewhat different way. And just knowing your customer avatar is huge because you can figure out, okay, which way do I need to focus my energy, my marketing, my ad spend, whatever you're putting into marketing. And so if you have, your strangers, you're going to approach them in a much different way than you would your evangelists. And you want to go to these evangelists here and ask them for referrals and ask them to have those conversations with their friends to kind of move forward and to ultimately pull in new clients. Knowing and not doing is the same as not knowing. What is your call to action? So say you watched this webinar and you thought, that's a good idea, but I don't really know what I'm going to do with that. Or maybe I'll just kind of sit here and think about it a little more. No, you need to leave today and have a call to action for yourself. Maybe that means printing off the customer avatar and filling that out as soon as we finish up here. Or maybe that means going through and kind of figuring out, okay, are my ads set up right? If you're running your own Facebook ads, can you split test an ad, or can you maybe change up the graphic as it needs to be changed? So don't get stuck, but move forward, right? Find some practical ways that you can improve, that you can move forward. So thanks y'all for watching. It has been super fun to share this information. Again, our favorite little book here is the one-page marketing plan. And if you would like to be entered into the drawing for that book, comment down below and we will get in touch with you if you are the winner. And so we have definitely enjoyed just creating this content for you guys to see, and we hope that you've learned from it. And so if you do have any questions, definitely comment below. And I have Hannah over here. She's going to tell me if anyone's left any comments so that we can kind of talk through those. No questions so far? That's okay. I'll stay on a couple minutes. But again, this is Gina, and I have definitely loved being here with you guys. And so if you would like to be entered for the one-page marketing plan, you can put your name down below. And if you would like either the link to the Ron Kaufman videos or to the one-page marketing customer avatar, let us know and we will send you those links. Good. All righty. No questions. You guys have a great afternoon. Bye.